Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Ladies and gentlemen, you say it's spoiler alert episode. What? Yeah, we'll call it a spoiler.
Yeah.
Or just a spoiler episode or a spoiler alert episode?
A spoiler ep. Spoiler
What's
episode.
the full title, though? What
is
was
the
full
spoiler episode?
Spoiler alert episode?
Sure.
I think I'm just adding that for the very first time.
Yeah, I think you are too.
Well, now, episode 58, we're calling it a spoiler alert episode.
All right. So we're not doing any spoilers. We're just alerting
We're
people
just alerting
about them.
you that they might happen. Yeah, this is spoiler episode 58. We're going to talk about
Baby Driver.
Baby Driver. So any of you new to the show, as we always have to say, we will talk about the entire film, the ending, key points.
Yes.
So if you have not seen the movie and you don't want it ruined for you, why did you download a thing called a spoiler app? So you need to ask yourself some tough questions.
Yeah. So do that and then come back.
And then come back. Before we do the Baby Driver spoiler app, is there a company you'd like to discuss, Chris?
Nope. Not at all. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by HelloFresh. HelloFresh.com. Delivering delicious gourmet meals to your house. And what I love about them, too, is depending on your lifestyle and your choices that you make, they have a package for you. They have
So, like, if you're a swinger.
If you're a swinger,
you could,
they have the swinger package.
If you're a furry,
Yeah.
you could get
Whatever you want. You brony? Sure. Whatever, they have a package for you. What I love about it is they have like the regular package where you can get up to 3 to 5 meals delivered, and it's for 2 people. But then there's a vegetarian option for you and Lindsay, and then we do the family option. We just had pork burgers and with like apples on top of them, and they were so good. And I've never had pork burgers before. Like them better than beef.
Well, that's the
really
thing, too, that I love
tasty.
about HelloFresh is they come up with recipes. We've had some sent to us where I'm just like, I don't know. And then I
Right.
make it. I'm like, this is fantastic.
Yeah, this makes perfect sense. Like even Audrey, my wife Audrey, when she's making them, like, with even like just a salad dressing, is like, well, vinegar and oil, but then you're adding tomato paste to it. That doesn't make any sense. And then you eat it, like, oh, this is delicious.
It's the little things.
Yeah,
It's like you say, it's like the apples on top of the burger. It's the
Right.
tomato paste. It's the little, like, they'll give you like a little tube of some oil or something, and you're like,
Yes.
all right, I've never
All
done
right,
this before.
we'll see.
And then it tastes fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good. So, but like we said, we're never going to make you pay full price.
No.
So if you go to HelloFresh.com, use the coupon code ComedyFilmNerds30. That's ComedyFilmNerds30 and get $30 off your first order.
$30 off. Well, you can get a meal right there.
It is. It's easy.
Nice.
It's even more than a meal, too, because it's like less than $10 a meal. If you're just a lonely couple that don't have any children to cook for.
We're not lonely. We're having a blast. We're well rested. We go do fun things.
I know you're not exhausted all the time. You have time to cook HelloFresh
Yes,
meals.
I do. It's
Yes.
fantastic.
So they actually lowered the prices, so they're under $10 a meal now.
So the
too.
$30 you're saving by using Comedy Film Nerds 30, you're getting 2-3 free meals.
Exactly. It's more than worth it definitely to try out. The other thing I like too is once you're a member, you could send free meals to friends. Like I sent my mom. They're nationwide now too, so I sent my mom like 3 free meals just to test out the service. So you can do that too once you're on board. You can spread the joy.
Spread the joy, guys. Go to
HelloFresh.com and use the coupon code ComedyFilmNerds30.
All right, let's discuss
Baby Driver.
Baby Driver.
I want to start because when I was watching this movie, I was thinking about it like maybe this is kind of like Drive or one of these movies that's like everyone else is going to like but me. It didn't resonate with me. I didn't like the film. And it wasn't one of those things that I could even put my finger on one thing that I didn't really like about it. It was just the whole thing just didn't work for me on an action level, on a character level, on an acting level, on a directing level. It fell flat for me. And I know I'm going to be in the vast minority because I really think this is the kind of movie that people are really going to like. I feel like I'm in the Little Miss Sunshine camp again because I never liked that movie.
Really?
And that one it won like an Academy Award for the script, which I felt was the weakest part. But I will say, I think the thing that bothered me the most is I'd never really felt empathy or grabbed onto the main character. Aaron, what's the name of the actor's name? If you could pull that up for us,
Ansel
Elgort, like as Baby, and I really just felt like, we got all the backstory, what happened to him. He's got the tinnitus and he's got all these issues and problems. And, but he makes, he's a great driver. He's a great getaway driver. There was a lot of things that, like, you're supposed to like about this character, but it was something about the actor and the portrayal and the performance that just never, I could just not connect with. And then there was a lot of, like, weird, like, inconsistencies in the movie. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, the boss Kevin Spacey says, "I never use the same crew twice." I'm like, well, you seem to use John Hamm and his girlfriend in every single job. So it's like, and then this is not a spoiler.
Well, there was one job with the second job didn't have John. It was Flea, and the Asian guy, and then Jamie Foxx.
Oh, right. And then they brought. Yeah, so he missed one. Yeah, him and his girlfriend missed one.
He missed one.
And then there was also some weird things. Like, now maybe I missed this, Graham, and you could tell me if this was that. But at the end, there's a gunfight with Kevin Spacey, a bunch of crooked policemen, and then of course our heroes at the end. Kevin Spacey gets hit in the back with a shotgun. And he seems to just kind of shake it off. Like, were they beanbags in there, or like there was a couple of just weird things. Like, there was some weird foreshadowing with, like, baby, he's the driver, so he's never going to get his hands dirty. Then all the other crooks are like, well, someday you are going to get your hands dirty. I'm like, okay, And then with the cliches of this is my last job, and like, I know where this is. Anyone who's ever seen an action heist thriller knows what's coming next in this sequence of events. Like, yes, he can't get out. He's going to
escape with the girl,
and he is going to have to get his hands dirty and all these things. So it never really resonated with me. And then this is the kind of movie, like I said, I'm sure a lot of you out there listening really liked it, but it didn't work for me. So Graham, I'm very curious to hear what you thought.
I got to tell you that I was excited to see this.
Yes, so was I.
The trailer,
I'm an Edgar Wright fan, too.
I'm an Edgar Wright fan. I like all these actors.
Yes, so do I.
I like, Ansel Elgort was great in The Spectacular Now.
Yes, and that movie I loved.
He's He's great in it. He's so, and all right, he's a new young actor, so
right,
like, we don't know what his abilities are. He's probably 5-10 years younger than Miles Teller. You know what I mean? Like, he's that next wave. And so I love seeing, I like John Hamm.
Jamie Foxx,
especially seeing Jamie Foxx.
Kevin Spacey. I like all these guys.
It's great. All these guys. Especially I was excited because I was like, well, John Hamm and Jamie Foxx, have played a lot. I mean, obviously, Mad Men, Don Draper is a very kind of conflicted, torn,
yes,
troubled guy, but he's not a criminal.
Right.
And Jamie Foxx typically plays, funny guy, good-looking guy, the cool guy, whatever.
Or Ray Charles.
Which he won
heavy, dramatic.
Heavy, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the movie, and I'm forgetting the name that he did with Tom Cruise, where he's the cab driver and Tom Cruise is like the hitman. Collateral.
Yes.
I loved him in Collateral. So I was excited at, like, a tattooed thug Jamie Foxx.
Right.
We really haven't seen him play this, which is a good thing. Like, he wasn't stereotyped as that, like, oh, black actor, you always got to play the thug.
Right.
So he's gotten to do a wide range of things. So the fact that he's coming into this now, later, I'm like, well, this will be cool. And to see a scruffy, crazy John Hamm, he's always slicked up, leading man looking.
Right.
So this is great. And Kevin Spacey being mean Kevin Spacey, I love it. You will do what I say. When he doesn't move his upper lip, however he talks.
His guys are so sick.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the House of Cards is a ridiculous show, but he's great.
Right.
House of Cards is a soap opera. It's a fine soap opera. So going into it,
he makes that show.
He makes that show.
Yeah.
Going into it, I was like, I'm on board. I like the idea. And I saw it, and I was like, oh, there's going to be some cool driving stunts.
Yes.
Great. And some young actresses I'm not familiar with. Maybe they'll be given some cool stuff to do.
Right.
Rotten Tomatoes had it at 97%.
Wow, really?
I am suspect of them. I've heard. I was on Ice House Chronicles several months ago, and Brian Redman was like, he thinks he is like has Like he feels like it's bullshit. Like they're bullshit. They'll pump up certain things.
It's like radio payola.
Yeah, he really feels that way. He had some evidence even to suggest it. So I was like,
it's corporate owned.
It is.
Unlike Comedy Film Nerds, independently owned.
Only way we can do this is through you valuable people on the Patreon.
Yes, and that means we get to say and can say whatever we want.
We're not owned by NBC Universal that owns Rotten Tomatoes.
No, we're barely owned by ourselves.
Barely.
Yeah,
barely. So I was like pumped. The fact that, I mean, so we're releasing this on July 4th, but we take this whole week of July 4th off. So we're recording this on Thursday the 29th. And I was like, I had the idea. I'm like, oh, the movie's, they're early releasing it Wednesday night.
Right.
So they're like,
for the big 4th of July weekend.
The big 4th of July weekend. So it can have a big, I was like, awesome. And so Lindsay and I went to the food movie.
Oh, yeah.
We're in a can't lose.
Already in like a good mood to see the movie.
I'm fired up. Mm-hmm. And I just felt like, all right. I didn't hate it. I wasn't like, this sucks. There was some okay moments, but I felt kind of just like.
Oh, so you didn't love it?
I did not love it.
Wow. In the food theater?
In the food theater.
Wow. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm kind of happy to hear that. So I'm not the odd man out.
I don't think that you are. Unless, now, like, and I said, because again, it's all, I mean, this is a spoiler up, so we can obviously talk about it. I knew it was so predictable. I go, all right, Kevin Spacey, because he says, one more job and then we're even. We're good. Okay.
Oh.
So I know he's going to get drawn back in.
And a lot of that's in the trailer, too.
A lot of that's in the trailer.
Even the cliched lines like, oh, you got a real pretty girlfriend. Let's keep it that way. I'm like, really?
Oh, I know.
Really?
I know they're going to capture the girlfriend. I know they're going to threaten her. I know all these thugs, what's his name? Can you scroll down the cast, Aaron? So, and go back to the beginning. This guy that's in the first scene. All right, John
Bernthal from Walking Dead.
And
the Punisher.
Mm-hmm. I sort of like him, but I feel like, and maybe this isn't his fault. Maybe it's just the way they cast him in the same guy all the time. But he's always like, hey, what?
Honestly, that's how they're casting him. It's like the Michael Shannon curse. It's like, you're this, intimidating tough guy. Well, then we'll just give you those roles over
constantly.
and over again.
And this is where I felt like maybe there was a writing or a structural problem, which is weird to say with Edgar Wright.
Right.
But he was just, in the very beginning, they're out getting ready for the first job, and he's all like, I don't trust this guy, baby, with his listening to his music.
Yeah.
Why do you give a shit?
Yeah, he already drove away from all the cops and saved you. What do you care?
Wouldn't all you criminals be like, this guy's a fucking weirdo, but I don't give a shit. He's the best driver in the business.
Exactly. Like that movie Drive.
Right. Exactly. Wouldn't they all be going, hey, man,
he's the best driver. He doesn't carry a gun. He just drives. That's it.
And
no one complains about it because he does his job.
As Batman says, criminals are a cowardly and suspicious lot, or whatever.
Superstitious lot. Yes.
Right. So wouldn't they just be like, "Hey, man, don't fuck with the kid. Remember that thing he saved? He saved you. They would all be going, "You saved my ass.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever you." So they're all like, "Who's this fucking kid?"
Yeah.
So
let him wear his sunglasses and listen to his music.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And there's some funny moments, like there's some nice Edgar Wright, he's good with like wise ass dialogue.
Yeah, and they feel like some of them, because he's trying to do this serious thriller, they almost felt forced in. Like, well, I still have to make this Edgar Wrighty. Yeah, so
exactly. That's a good way to put it. I felt like, it's like sometimes it was the Coen Brothers movie with George Clooney and
Brother Where Art Thou?
No,
and the lesser one, and where he's the divorce attorney
Intolerable Cruelty.
Yes. Intolerable Cruelty. I remember I went to that movie and I felt like someone was doing a Coen Brothers knockoff.
Well, they didn't even want to do that movie. The studio convinced them to do that movie, and you could tell.
You could tell.
Like, this isn't what Edgar Wright does, and it comes across as, oh, this isn't what Edgar Wright does.
It felt like someone said, they hired another director and said, give it that Edgar Wright feel.
Right. Yeah.
Give it that Barton Fink feel.
Yeah.
It felt like that, and so there's
Which is weird, because he said on various podcasts he's been on that we will not name, that he had this idea for 20 years. Like, this is all him. This is his
This is one he had in the trunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The boot.
Yeah.
Stand in the queue.
Yeah.
I wonder, well, that's a good point. I wonder if it's...
That could mean it was a really old script.
It was a really old script, and he has, he's evolved and transformed as an artist and as a director, and this script was, you know what I mean? It's like, if you went into your notes from 20 years ago, your comedy joke notes from 20 years ago,
you'd go, well, I should probably revise some of these.
Some of these might be revised. I mean, obviously, some of them would just technologically would be defunct. Like I have a pager bit from 20 years ago, But like, I wonder if that's it. Like, because, I've never, I know he's on Doug Loves Movies. I've never been on Doug Loves Movies with him, and he seems like a really cool, personable guy, and he's funny, and he digs it, and he loves movies. He, obviously he's not just like some of these studio people that just feel like they're sort of corporate shills or whatever. They just hire just a yes man to. So that's why. But that's an interesting point that Aaron brings up, and I wonder if that's why it sort of just felt a little
flat. Right.
And again, like he's one of those guys, though. He's an interesting enough filmmaker that
there's always something interesting.
Right, you didn't walk out of there
right,
like,
going. That was the worst movie I've ever seen.
No, you're
what
like,
did Brett Ratner direct it?
Yeah, exactly. You're like, that was entertaining. That was cool.
Right.
But I was
even after seeing Transformers, I was like, well, anything's gonna be.
It was
better.
just so it was so predictable. And then John Hamm, all right, they can't kill him.
Right.
So he keeps coming back. You see him get shot and killed and blown up 1,000 times, and then he shows up in the diner.
He's Jason.
Yeah, he's Jason. He's a much better looking Jason. And so, and again, all these actors did fairly interesting things, but it just felt like it was so predictable.
It was it was a by the notes and by the numbers kind of thriller / heist.
But
and
go ahead. I have more.
Well, even just like what I said before, even with like the characters, like I would have liked something interesting being done with like Kevin Spacey or something like I think the most interesting character out of all of them was Jamie Foxx's character, Bats, where he comes off as this crazy guy, but he also comes off as very smart, which was, that's an interesting, like he's like nailing John Hamm on what kind of person he is in his history. So I thought, well, that's a little bit more interesting. Why can't all the characters have those traits?
That's a great point. Yeah, he had more of a. I mean, we learn a lot about Baby. We learn who his mom was. We learn why he goes to this diner. Like that was interesting. We see, and that's how he meets the girlfriend. But again, she was sort of just a two-dimensional girlfriend.
Right, the waitress girlfriend.
The waitress girlfriend who's just...
I'm with you, baby.
I'm with you, baby. And he's like, I'm going to take you out of this place. Okay. Right. We don't know anything else about her. And it's just sort of that thing, like enough... she wasn't fleshed out enough.
Eye candy.
She was eye candy.
Yeah.
And she was just this symbol of the girlfriend that I can now threaten you with.
Right,
because I'm Kevin Spacey. And now Kevin Spacey was a very sort of predictable bad guy, but that was okay. Like, he's a crime boss. And the thing I did like is then at the very end, when he was like, you know what? You can't get the fuck out of here. Take the money. Right. The cops are coming for you.
Here's, love conquers all.
Love conquers all. I was like, wow, that was kind of cool.
Right. And then, but like what I was talking about before, didn't it look like he got shot in the back with and then he just kind of shook it off? Like,
well, they all had all the cops, the bad cops had vests on. I was like, so does he have a vest?
Yeah, it made, or was it beanbags in the shotgun, or like it was very unclear. Like that was it. It was never revealed that he would always wear a vest under his suit, but I don't know.
Yeah, and I felt like I just knew like there's gonna be from the moment he meets the girl, I'm like, yep, there's going to be a scene where they're riding in the car, driving away. Now, the one twist at the end was he does get arrested.
Yes.
You see him in prison, and you see him sort of either, I don't know, it's kind of flashing back either to his trial and or his parole hearing.
Right.
So that was a little interesting because it would have...
He did get caught.
He did get caught because had he just gotten away scot-free,
right,
that would have been like...
Because he ended up killing people, too.
Yeah. So... they give him a 5-year sentence instead of a 25-year sentence. So that was sort of an interesting wrinkle that was a little different than
some good character witnesses came up.
that was interesting.
Yeah.
And like the woman at the bank
Mm-hmm.
was like, you know, he was a nice guy and he told me to get out of there, like he was trying to rescue me. Like
Right.
that was
Before he killed Jamie Foxx.
right. Who was he drove a pole through his chest. So it was like, well, even when he had to kill, it was justifiable. Jamie Foxx
Right.
is a loose cannon that wants to kill everybody, and so
Right.
he's got to do that.
Like John Hamm and his girlfriend.
Yeah, we're fucking nuts.
Yeah. They then it was like the Wild Bunch at the end. Like it was machine guns in both hands. Well, now we're in a Rodriguez movie.
Right.
Yeah. So it was it was like more machine guns than Heat in that bank shootout.
Yeah.
It was. I'm like, really? And also, clearly, these are prop guns because then they have no recoil on any of these. So she could just carry 2 machine guns and just keep firing them. So
Yeah, she's probably 105
Right,
pounds, and
yeah.
she's just going,
yeah.
So the thing I had to ask when I left, because my girlfriend was like, oh, it was, you know, I said, what did you think of it? And she goes, you know, it was cool. It was fun. She goes, it wasn't amazing, but kind of similar to what we said, but wasn't as hard on it. And I said, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm burnt out. Maybe I'm just watching so many movies.
I don't think that was it. Not with this one. No, because I thought about that too, and I was like, no, it's missing the mark.
Because it was interesting when we did the War Machine spoiler up, right? You and I went into all the problems we had with it, and Jimmy Dore goes, man, you guys watch too many movies.
Well, I think that's an extreme example because he doesn't watch any.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, we are
Literally,
on the either ends of the spectrum. We
Yeah.
watch 200 movies a year, and he watches 3.
Yeah, because we make him.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So, I was wondering, like, am I just getting
Well, then we wouldn't have liked Wonder Woman, though.
right?
You know,
That's true.
There's definitely, and like, you know, I really also enjoyed Pedersen. So there's movies that we've seen recently that were good.
I guess I haven't seen that. I mean, like, Beatrice at Dinner was just okay.
It's
Rough
okay,
Night
yeah.
was horrible. The Mummy was shitty.
Well, yeah, but those are all accurate descriptions.
Right.
Those aren't you being jaded.
Yeah.
Those,
I feel like I'm a little, I don't know. Like, because I'm sitting there, and when this
let's
movie...
see what happens with Spider-Man and War of the Planet of the Apes and see how you come down on those.
Okay, and Dunkirk.
And Dunkirk, yeah. When does Dunkirk come out, Aaron?
Soon.
Yeah, it's next month.
Next month.
So because that one looks stunning.
Part of me, I was in
Stunning.
the theater going, you know, I'm in my comfortable movie chairs, you know, food movie theaters. I got nice food.
July 21st.
July 21st.
July 21st, okay.
And I was, part of me was like, God, I don't even, like, I don't want to, I feel like I haven't, I don't, if I wasn't doing the podcast, I don't know if I'd see that. You know, like, I just, like, I don't know if I want to go to these shitty movies. And I don't, you know. So
Sometimes those are our best episodes.
Yeah, I know when I'm furious, but I don't know. And I guess maybe.
But, you know, I liked it even less than you did.
I guess maybe I'm wanting to see more. I guess I want to see more film, more art that is like maybe because I'm doing more political stuff. I want stuff to be a little more political or have some kind of point. Like we talked about it a little bit with Kimberly Browning in the Wonder Woman episode. We were having a larger conversation about movie stories, and she's like, you know, how come there aren't more stories like Moonlight? And I was like, or Lion. And
right.
Granted, I know they backload those for the Oscars. All the really solid movies, they dump them all.
It's true, you know.
Not dump, but I mean, they release them all to get Oscar consideration. So it's like,
also a timing issue too, because if you release an Oscar movie too early in the year,
you get screwed.
People forget about it, and they won't vote for it. So that's why everything loads up towards the end of the year for the qualifying screenings.
I know, which is tough, but I guess we've been spoiled the last couple summers. We've had really solid movies coming out.
We have.
And this summer is just like May and June were like, I mean,
some
Guardians
dead space.
Guardians and Wonder Woman, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
those have been the two really the standouts. But like I said,
Logan was decent, but like.
But I mean, Logan came out early.
Yeah, it came out way early. Like we haven't had like week after week of like, oh, right on. And sometimes in the summer, they release those sort of lower budget indies that really pop.
Yeah,
and we haven't.
Also too, they're not getting the marketing push. because we're getting, and that happens every summer too. You get all the marketing budget goes into the tent poles because they've spent so much money. A smaller indie. Generally, they if they do get released during the summer as counter programming, they don't get the marketing push that the other ones get.
And I'm not saying too that
actually Beatrice at Dinner is a good example of that. That's where it was. This is we know you have all these tent poles and all these big budget blockbusters. We're going to release this at the same time to get the rest of you that don't want to see those movies.
Right, it was okay for that, but it wasn't.
But it doesn't mean it's a great movie.
Right. Exactly. And I'm not saying everything has to be some heavy political thing, but I worry that and there's nothing wrong with frivolous art or entertainment. There's nothing wrong with
popcorn movies are great. We love popcorn movies.
Provided they don't block entry. Like if they take up all the space and so nothing of any sort of social or political value or commentary can get in because they've taken up everything, that's when it becomes a problem.
Well, the good thing is Jumanji will only take up space for probably a couple of days. So there won't be much space taken up.
85% of all screens for a couple of days.
For 40 minutes.
They're going to pull it midway through.
Yeah.
The thing's going to shut down. Folks, here's some passes. Thanks.
Let us save you some time.
Yeah.
We know half of you are on your way out to the front as it is.
Here's a download card.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other stuff I love the music in Baby Driver, and
Well, that's one thing I wanted to mention. Was the music. It was almost like a Cameron Crowe movie where the music was its own character, and it was a big part of the film.
Well, he had to. That was really cool, and that was very inventive, and that was the thing of even Edgar Wright is becoming one of those filmmakers. Even if it's a misfire, it's still interesting.
Right.
Because that stuff.
I think the stuff with the music was interesting.
Was fantastic,
sure.
And I was like, wow, he didn't just add music later. He had to have these beats and have because Ansel Elgort is mouthing the lyrics because that's how he gets through his day.
Right.
And does everything.
The mixtape thing was a little weird, where he made mixtapes from the conversations that the criminals would have.
Right.
And that came back to bite him. But it was like a weird plot
that was confusing
thing.
Because I thought he was like, he is going to take the raw footage from all this and that's going to get him out.
Right, get him some security.
Yeah, he's going to leverage that.
And it's no, he's making mixtapes.
And literally didn't do anything with any of the other stuff.
No.
That was a weird red herring that just sort of kind of went nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the music thing was cool, and how he edited it to the music, how it was like you say, it was a character.
Yes.
In the film, that was really cool and inventive and worth seeing. I don't know if anyone out there listening maybe isn't as jaded as we are. Maybe just thought, this movie was a blast front to back. I don't know what your guys' problem was.
Let us know on Twitter, what you guys, if you guys liked the film.
Or YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're consuming this.
Yeah. We respect any opinion politely and respectfully given.
As long as you start with point of order,
yes.
we will gladly listen to what you have to say. Because that's the thing I was asking is I was trying to be fair to this movie. I was like, maybe I'm just fried.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that was it.
And maybe I wasn't giving this movie a fair chance, but.
No, you liked it more than me. So I think you did.
Do you guys think, it's completely off topic, but do you guys think this is his costume choice here is a Han Solo reference? That's what I see when I look at that.
It could be.
With the vest?
Yeah.
It
black
could be.
Vest, brown shirt.
I don't know.
And a scowl.
Yeah, he's not the guy. I'm sure he was probably up for the other
for
movie.
young Han Solo.
Right.
Well, he may still get the part, the way people were getting fired from that stuff.
That's true, yeah. That's why I was just checking he's not actually the guy.
Yeah, it was interesting. Let's find what the budget on this was. Scroll down.
$40 million.
$40 million?
Okay. You know what? For an action movie with car chases, that's actually low.
It is low.
Mm-hmm.
And they shot it all in Atlanta because Georgia, there's a lot of production happening in Georgia because Georgia has big tax breaks. So, Janet Varney is doing a show, Stand Against Evil. That's shooting in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
In Georgia, so Atlanta. I know a lot of people who've worked either in front of or behind the camera, and many of them are going there, and they have big production facilities. So it was all shot down. So that's kind of a cool thing. I've performed in Atlanta a bunch, and so it was cool to see. Downtown Atlanta was sort of the backdrop for a lot of these car chases and stuff, which I thought was cool.
Right.
Because. there's not a lot of movies that like take place in Atlanta, so that was a cool thing. And I liked.
There's a lot of production going on in Atlanta right now.
Yeah.
TV shows too.
Yeah.
Hey, it's weird. Tax breaks. People come and shoot in your city and state.
Yep.
Yeah. Take a lesson, Albuquerque.
Yeah. Well, New Mexico had them, and then they voted it down.
So, and that's weird. The production left.
Yeah. All the production split. But yeah, it's. I liked Baby's his foster dad was a deaf man. And so they had a kind of a cool relationship.
Right, that was cool.
So they're signing and there's subtitles for that. And he's not dumb. He knows that Baby's working for criminals because he comes home and throws money in the floorboards.
Right.
Which was interesting. I guess, there's certain things I could see people could say, well, yeah, Graham, it's a heist movie, so of course it's going to have these things. You know this going in. It's like a romantic comedy. We know they're going to get together in the end.
Right.
Which I'll give you that to a certain extent, but I just felt there was still too many of them. But again, there's all these little gems in there. The relationship with the foster dad.
There were some cool,
cool.
There were some definitely good moments. And then there was a couple of those weird moments of like, well, they're explaining every heist that someone has a nose problem. Like someone's on cocaine, so then that gives them access to do every single job.
Right.
Like, it's like, all right, okay, well, oh, really? So that's how everything runs? Is someone has a drug problem, so now we can do these heists.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, okay.
That actually I find plausible.
Yeah.
Well, that's, it's interesting. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. This will be the big movie of this 4th of July weekend.
And we hope you guys are enjoying your 4th, having some fun, some days off of work, and you enjoy the podcast, and we will be back live on tape next week.
Yeah, so next week we will release a regular full episode talking about everything that's come out. Yeah. I'm going to take a week from watching movies.
Yes.
And,
to recharge the batteries.
Yeah, go surfing. Maybe never come back.
Yeah. You're gonna pull a baby driver?
I'm gonna pull a baby driver. And then Chris is going to say, "You're not out yet."
Yes. What'd you think, because we're square? You think you're done?
You think this cliched line wasn't going to happen in the movie?
Just because I just paid for your dinner.
Yeah.
In the expensive restaurant.
Oh, I got a pretty girlfriend there.
Yeah.
All right, so check this movie out. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, we're curious to see what you guys think. And if our message boards were working, we would have you post there as well, but I think they're still broken. But we're working on getting those fixed as well.
$1,500 gets me to go see the Transformers movie, which is a cruel punishment.
Yes.
And
come on, Patreon backers, don't let us down. Let's make it happen. Make Graham angry. It's only $380 away right now.
Don't forget the accents.
And then another, then the bonus,
$1,600,
the stretch goal, $1,600. We'll do it all in accents.
I totally forgot that.
Me too.
That's Aaron's stretch goal.
Yes.
$1,600 accent goal.
Not just Graham, me, and if we get a guest, the guest will have to do them in accents too.
Hello, Transformers it is. See, there's a little taste of what you guys could get for $1,600.
All right.
Of course, you get cool stuff. You get, we take the full video, and you get access to the full video on the Patreon. We cut the episodes up video-wise for the YouTube channel. You get bonus audio content, like we just talked about a couple of trailers, and that's only going to go on the bonus Patreon stuff.
You get some semi-weekly polls.
Yep, you get some polls.
You get to vote on. And
you get access to Patreon-only posts, and you're supporting the show.
Yep. We couldn't do it without you. Like we said, we are not a corporate company. We don't have a corporate backer. We don't have a parent company. It's just us. So that gives us the freedom to do whatever we want and say whatever we want.
No one is going to come in here and say, guys, you can't talk, the studio, the Edgar Wright studio, you got to say you loved it all the way. And it's like, well, that's not what I thought.
It's like, oh, then go to Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah, go to Entertainment Weekly. Go pump up Rotten Tomatoes numbers.
Yes.
All right, guys, thank you. Positive reviews on iTunes help. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're really trying to blow that up.
And also use our Amazon link, too. Like, we forgot to mention this. We have an Amazon affiliate link on the website at comedyfilmnerds.com. Whenever you buy something on Amazon, use that link. And a lot of times, if you have an Amazon A lot of times what people do is if you have like an Amazon shortcut on your browser, make it our affiliate link. So then every time you go to Amazon, you don't even have to think about it. You just use an R code and we get a little taste of anything you buy.
Stuff you were going to buy anyway. You're just helping us out.
Everyone shops on Amazon. Help us. That's another way to help out the show without spending any extra money.
Follow all the social media at Comedy Film Nerds on Instagram, at Comedy Film Nerds on the Twitters. We're getting up near close to 10,000 followers.
Getting really close.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm. Let's get 10,000 Patreon supporters. Come on, we can do it.
That would be a lot.
Yes.
Well, we're doing 2 spoiler ups a month, guys, because you guys hit the $1,000 level. So, and you're getting the monthly, weekly Neil review. That's every month.
Live on tape
that he talks about on a semi-monthly basis.
Yes, yes.
All right, that's our show. Thank you, Aaron Brungardt, and all the wonderful people here at the All Things Comedy Studio. Kermit the Frog is next door recording on the Soapbox soundstage.
Yes, it's pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. My name's Graham Elwood.
And I'm Chris Mancini, and as always, remember,
Han shot first.
I'm with you.
Han shot first! Kitten heads across the